Lust whispers to you in the quiet moments, promising freedom but binding you in chains that tighten with each indulgence. It's the silent thief stealing your peace, your power, and your purpose, leaving you empty despite the temporary pleasure. But what if breaking free from its grip is not just possible? What if it's your birthright? What if the power to rise above the pull of lust lies within you, waiting to be unleashed? Imagine walking through life not as a victim of your desires, but as a sovereign, commanding your mind, body, and soul. Every temptation that once ruled you is now beneath your feet. The enemy is no longer your master. You are the one in control. The chains that bound you are shattered, and in their place is authority, an authority to shape your destiny, to live with power, clarity, and purpose. This isn't a battle of willpower alone, it's a battle of identity. To break free from lust is to awaken to the truth of who you are and who you were meant to become. The journey begins now. Are you ready to step into the authority you were always meant to walk in? The silent prison, how lust chains the soul and warps your identity. Lust operates in the shadows, silent yet insidious, subtly chaining the soul and warping the very core of your identity. It begins as a fleeting desire, a harmless thought, but over time it entangles itself in your mind, making you believe that the pursuit of instant gratification is your true purpose. In reality, lust does not just affect your actions, it reshapes how you see yourself and the world around you. The more you indulge, the more your identity becomes tied to the very thing you seek to escape. You no longer see yourself as someone with power and control, but as a slave to a relentless force that you can never fully satisfy. This silent prison operates by convincing you that your worth is linked to your desires. It feeds on insecurity, convincing you that you are incomplete and need external validation to feel whole. It twists your sense of self into something that is never satisfied, always hungry, always wanting. The more you chase after what it promises, pleasure, release, fulfillment, the deeper you fall into its trap. Lust isn't just a craving, it's a lie about who you are and what you are truly capable of. But the true devastation of lust lies in its ability to blind you to your own potential. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of temporary pleasure followed by guilt, shame, and self-loathing. Every time you give in, you reinforce the lie that you are weak and powerless, further solidifying your sense of inadequacy. It's not just an external battle, but an internal war, one that erodes your confidence and prevents you from stepping into the life you were meant to live. As you become more enmeshed in the prison of lust, your connection to your true self fades. The potential for greatness that lies dormant within you is overshadowed by the chains of desire. Your identity is no longer anchored in your true purpose or higher calling, but in fleeting satisfaction that never leads to lasting fulfillment. Breaking free from this prison requires more than just resisting temptation. It requires a transformation of your mindset, an identity. The key to unlocking the chains of lust is to realize that you are not defined by your desire. You are defined by your strength, your willpower, and the higher purpose that lies within you. Once you reclaim your true identity, the chains of lust lose their power and the prison walls crumble. The battlefield within, the mind, heart, and will in conflict. The conflict between the mind, heart, and will is where the true battle against lust is fought. It's not just a struggle of fleeting desires or impulses. It's a war within your very being. Understanding this inner battlefield is the first step to breaking free from the chains of lust. At the heart of the battle is the mind. It is the gateway through which all temptation enters. The mind processes and analyzes everything you experience, and it's here where lust plants its seeds. Thoughts of desire, pleasure, and satisfaction are planted in your mind, and the more you entertain them, the more they take root. The mind can justify, rationalize, and even glorify lust, convincing you that it's harmless or that you deserve it. The longer you dwell on these thoughts, the more power they gain, until they begin to control your decisions. Next, there is the heart, the emotional center of your being. Lust preys on the heart's deepest desires. It doesn't just appeal to your body, it promises emotional fulfillment, intimacy, and connection. The heart is where you feel the cravings, the yearning for something more, something that lust masquerades as. This emotional pull makes it easy to fall into the trap. The heart can become addicted to the rush, the fleeting satisfaction, and the illusion of love. Yet the truth is, lust leaves the heart empty, craving more, never truly satisfied. This emptiness fuels the cycle, making it harder to break free. But it's in the will where the true power to fight lies. The will is what determines your response. It's your ability to make decisions, to stand firm against the pull of lust. However, the will is weakened when the mind and heart are in disarray. If the mind is filled with justifications and the heart with emotional turmoil, the will becomes a passive observer, unable to resist. For the will to regain its strength, it must be aligned with your true identity, your higher purpose and your inner authority. Breaking free from lust requires more than mental discipline or emotional control. It requires a realignment of all three: mind, heart and will. The mind must reject the false promises of lust, the heart must find true fulfillment in purpose and connection, and the will must be empowered by the truth of who you are. Only then can you step into the authority over your desires and claim your true power. The root of temptation. What lust is really about and who is behind it. Lust is not simply a desire for physical pleasure. It is a deeper spiritual force designed to strip away your dignity, your purpose and your sense of self. At its core, lust is the distortion of true desire. It twists the natural longing for connection, intimacy, and meaning into a fleeting, shallow pursuit that only feeds an insatiable emptiness. The problem isn't just the act, it's what lies beneath the surface, the forces that work to keep you trapped in this cycle. To understand the root of temptation, we must first recognize that lust is not your own desire. It originates from external, malevolent forces that aim to control your mind and spirit. These forces, often spiritual in nature, whisper lies, twisting the truth about what you truly need and want. Lust promises satisfaction but delivers a continual craving for more, leaving you spiritually bankrupt. Behind every temptation is a force that seeks to reduce you to an object of consumption, stripping away your autonomy and your identity. This isn't just about an immoral act or sinful behavior. It's about an attack on your very essence. The enemy behind lust knows that if it can keep you focused on fleeting pleasure, it can keep you distracted from your higher purpose. It can keep you from your potential, from walking in the authority and power you were born to possess. This is not a battle against your body or even your desires. It's a war against your mind and your identity. Lust seeks to disconnect you from your true self, from the higher calling that lies within you. It uses manipulation, deception, and distortion to cloud your judgment, making you believe that temporary satisfaction is worth sacrificing your peace, your sense of self-worth, and your spiritual integrity. Understanding that lust is a deeper spiritual struggle gives you the first key to overcoming it. It is not merely a momentary weakness, it's a part of a greater battle for your soul. Recognizing who is behind these temptations, be it negative spiritual influences or deeply ingrained patterns of thought, empowers you to fight back. You are not powerless. The moment you shift your perspective and realize that lust isn't an isolated desire, but part of a broader attempt to undermine your very being, you begin to understand that breaking free is not just possible, it is inevitable. The power to break free, reclaiming control through authority and identity. The power to break free from lust begins with reclaiming control over your own identity. Lust doesn't just target your desires, it strikes at the very core of who you believe you are. The enemy thrives when you allow yourself to identify with weakness, temptation, and impulsive desires. But the truth is, your identity is far more powerful than anything that tries to control you. To break free, you must first shift your perspective. Lust thrives in an environment where you feel powerless, where your sense of self is defined by your lowest moments. But your true identity is far beyond any fleeting pleasure. It's rooted in authority, the kind of authority that has the power to resist and overcome. When you realize this, you're no longer a slave to your impulses. You become the master of your own mind and body. Reclaiming control begins with a deep understanding that the power to say no is always within you. Lust may appear irresistible, but it's just an illusion, a temporary high that fades, leaving emptiness in its wake. Your true power lies in recognizing that every temptation is an opportunity for you to assert your sovereignty over yourself. When you see yourself as a person of authority, someone who controls their thoughts, actions, and desires, temptation no longer has dominion over you. Authority comes from within, not from the outside. It's not about suppressing or fighting against lust in the traditional sense. It's about aligning yourself with a higher purpose. When you tap into your core, grounded in the truth of who you are, you realize that your body, mind, and spirit are all aligned with something far greater than momentary satisfaction. Reclaiming control is about shifting from being a passive participant in your own life to an active force. It's about understanding that your choices define your path. Every time you reject lust, you step deeper into the truth of your identity. You are not someone who is defined by their urges, but someone who is defined by their will, by their purpose and by their strength. In this process, you don't just break free from lust, you redefine who you are. You step into the life of authority and self-mastery that was always meant for you. You become the person who walks in power, never again enslaved by fleeting desires, but instead anchored in the unshakable truth of who you are and the authority you possess. If you're ready to take control of your desires and break free from lust once and for all, the 7 Biblical Secrets to Destroy Lust ebook is your ultimate guide. This powerful resource dives deep into timeless biblical wisdom, providing you with actionable steps to reclaim your identity and authority over temptation. Don't let lust control your life any longer. Embrace freedom and walk in the strength you're meant to have. Get your copy now by clicking the link in the description or pinned comment below. Transform your life today. The power to break free is in your hands. The price of lust, what you lose and why you must let go. Lust might offer temporary pleasure, but the cost is far greater than most realize. The price of lust is not just spiritual or emotional. It seeps into every area of your life, robbing you of what matters most. What you lose when you give in to lust is far more valuable than any fleeting satisfaction it promises. First, lust robs you of your peace of mind. When you indulge in it, you create an internal conflict that disrupts your mental clarity. The shame, guilt, and confusion that follow undermine your ability to think clearly, make sound decisions, and feel at peace within yourself. This constant inner turmoil drains your energy, leaving you unable to fully experience the joy and fulfillment that life offers. Lust also steals your sense of self-control. Every time you give in to temptation, you weaken your willpower, reinforcing the false belief that you have no control over your desires. This erosion of self-discipline doesn't just affect your battle with lust, it spills over into every area of your life, your work, your relationships, and even your health. You start to lose trust in your ability to make strong, decisive choices, and you become a prisoner to your impulse. One of the greatest losses caused by lust is the erosion of your true identity. You were never meant to be controlled by your desires. You were created with power, authority, and purpose. Lust distorts your identity, making you believe that your worth is defined by temporary pleasures, rather than your true potential. It pushes you into a cycle of shame and self-doubt, far removed from the person you were always meant to be. Perhaps the most devastating loss, however, is the loss of time and opportunity. Every moment spent indulging in lust is a moment stolen from your purpose, from your growth, and from the future you are meant to create. Lust keeps you trapped in a cycle of temporary highs that leave you empty, never allowing you to build a life of meaning or legacy. The time wasted in this cycle can never be reclaimed. Letting go of lust is not just about resisting temptation. It's about reclaiming what is rightfully yours: your peace, your self-control, your identity, and your time. The price of holding on to lust is too high. Choose freedom, purpose, and a life aligned with who you were always meant to be. Letting go is the only way forward. Neville Goddard and the Power of Manifestation, Shifting Your Reality and Walking in Authority. Neville Goddard, one of the most profound thinkers of the 20th century, taught that manifestation isn't about external forces or luck. It's about the power of your own mind. His philosophy centers on the idea that your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape your reality. According to Goddard, you are not at the mercy of circumstances. Instead, you have the power to change your life by changing your inner world. The key to unlocking this power lies in understanding that the world around you is a reflection of your inner state. Goddard emphasized that the external world is simply a mirror, showing you the results of your inner beliefs, emotions, and imaginations. What you think, feel, and imagine consistently becomes your reality. This insight is foundational to walking in authority, because it reveals that the power to manifest change lies within you, not in anything or anyone else. To walk in authority, you must first align your thoughts and emotions with the life you want to create. This means consciously choosing what you think about and how you feel. For Goddard, imagination was the most powerful tool at your disposal. He believed that by vividly imagining the desired reality, as though it has already happened, you begin to mold your future. This is a form of mental and emotional authority. You claim dominion over your life by choosing your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Manifestation, according to Goddard, doesn't require external action. It requires internal alignment. The secret is to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When you believe and feel that your desires are already accomplished, you begin to manifest them in your physical reality. It's a shift from seeking to creating, from wanting to knowing. In terms of lust, Goddard's teachings offer a powerful approach. Lust is rooted in desires and fantasies that feed off of your lack of control. By shifting your inner state and focusing on your worth, you elevate your reality to one where temptation no longer holds dominion over you. Instead, you walk in authority, seeing yourself as someone who controls their thoughts, desires, and actions. By embracing Neville Goddard's philosophy, you awaken the power of your inner world, step into your true authority, and begin to manifest the life of freedom and strength that you deserve. Walking in authority is not about domination or control over others. It's about stepping into the power that is rightfully yours, an inherent strength that lies dormant within you, waiting to be awakened. Authority isn't a gift you must earn. It's part of your identity. From the moment you were created, you were given the power to shape your own life, make choices, and control your destiny. The problem is, most people never fully recognize or exercise this power, allowing their impulses, desires, and circumstances to dictate their lives instead. True authority is about mastering yourself, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. It's about holding the reins of your life and guiding it in the direction you want to go, rather than being swept away by external forces. When you walk in authority, you stop being a passenger in your own life and take the driver's seat. You command your desires, your mind, and your body, shaping them in alignment with your higher purpose. This authority doesn't come from force. It comes from alignment. It's about understanding that you don't have to fight against temptation or weakness, but instead rise above them by embracing your true identity. You are not a slave to your urges or your circumstances. You are a sovereign being with the power to make conscious decisions and live with purpose. Lust and temptation lose their grip on you when you stand firm in the knowledge that you are in control of your own life. Walking in authority means recognizing that the world around you is influenced by the decisions you make. Every action, every choice, and every thought you entertain creates your reality. When you walk in authority, you stop allowing external forces to dictate your inner world. Instead, you cultivate inner peace, discipline, and self-control, which naturally influence your outer circumstances. To walk in authority, you must first understand that true power comes from within. You don't need to seek validation from others, and you don't need to bow to the pressures of society. The power is already in you. The key is to unlock it by mastering your mind and aligning your life with your highest purpose. Walking in authority means living as the powerful, purposeful person you were always meant to be, free from lust, fear, and limitation, and fully in command of your life. A new dawn, from bondage to liberation, your journey of transformation. A new dawn signifies a fresh start, an opportunity to leave behind the darkness of bondage and step into the light of freedom. Breaking free from lust is not just about overcoming temptation. It's about a profound transformation that reshapes your life at its core. This journey is one of liberation, where you transition from being enslaved by your desires to becoming a person of strength, authority, and purpose. The first step toward this transformation is recognizing that your struggle with lust is not who you are. It's a battle you are meant to win. Lust is merely a reflection of deeper issues, insecurities, unfulfilled needs, or misguided desires. When you break free, you are not just quitting a bad habit. You are healing the wounds that allowed lust to take root in the first place. Liberation begins with understanding that the chains you've worn for so long were never truly yours. They were placed by external forces, but the power to remove them has always been within you. As you embark on this journey, you will encounter moments of struggle, doubt, and temptation. These are natural parts of the process. However, each challenge you face is an opportunity to assert your authority over your desires. You will learn that temptation no longer holds the power to control you. Instead, you begin to recognize your true strength, an inner power rooted in your identity, purpose, and faith. The freedom you seek is already within you, and every day that you resist the pull of lust is a day closer to a life of lasting transformation. Your transformation doesn't end with overcoming lust. It's just the beginning. As you gain victory over one area of your life, you'll discover new realms of power and potential within you. Your mind, once clouded by the fog of temptation, clears to reveal your true calling. You realize that your life was never meant to be defined by your weaknesses, but by the strength that lies in your ability to rise above them. This is your new dawn, an awakening to the truth that you are not a victim of your desires, but a conqueror of them. From bondage to liberation, your journey of transformation leads you into a life of purpose, clarity, and power. You step forward not in fear but with boldness and confidence, knowing that you are now living in the freedom you were always meant to have. The journey from bondage to liberation is not easy, but it is the most transformative path you will ever walk. Every temptation you face, every moment of weakness, is an opportunity to reclaim the power and authority that is rightfully yours. The struggle with lust is not just about resisting fleeting pleasures. It's about breaking free from the chains that have held you captive for far too long. When you recognize your true identity and the authority you possess, you will no longer be a slave to your desires, but a sovereign over them. The path ahead may not always be smooth, and there will be moments where you feel the weight of temptation. But with every choice you make to rise above, you are not only stepping into your true power, you are becoming the person you were always meant to be. You are stronger than any desire, more powerful than any temptation, and capable of far more than you've ever realized. But if you're ready to take the next step, to ensure that you don't just break free for a moment, but maintain your freedom, there is a powerful resource that will guide you every step of the way. My 7 Biblical Secrets to Destroy Lust Before It Destroys You ebook is designed to help you understand the deeper, spiritual truths behind lust and how to combat it using time-tested biblical wisdom. This ebook isn't just a guide, it's a weapon in your fight for freedom, giving you the tools to destroy lust and walk in the authority you were always meant to walk in. Don't wait another day. The freedom you seek is already within you, and now is the time to seize it. Click the link in the video description below to get your copy of 7 Biblical Secrets to Destroy Lust Before It Destroys You, and take the first step toward lasting liberation. Your transformation starts now.